Hey guys, welcome back to FHC Tactical. What we've got today is the new Smith & Wesson Shield X Carry Comp. This was just released a few days ago. We went out to one of our distributors that had a few allocated. I was able to get one of those. Paid for it with our own money, so nothing was shipped to us for free. We're going to look at this, do a 1,000-round review on it because I was actually thinking about putting this one in my everyday carry arsenal. We're going to look at it. We're going to see some of the things we like, some of the things we don't. Some things that we think maybe they need to improve on. But for this video today, we're just going to hit that first 100 rounds and give you our initial thoughts. So stay tuned. All right, first rounds for the Smith & Wesson Shield X Carry Comp. Got a target down there at about 15 yards. We put a Hollow Sun 407C on this thing. We're just going to try to sight it in real quick. I did it off the iron sights. We should be pretty close, but we'll see how close here. Not great. Well, not a great first run. We're definitely left, but can't really tell if we're high or low. Yeah, I could obviously do this thing off the bench, but I like to just sight it in freehand, see how it goes. That's generally close enough for what we're going to do today. So we'll go down, set up a new one, maybe adjust that a little bit, see if we can clean that up just a little bit. All right, we've got everything swapped over. We're going to run one more real quick, but first, and we are clear on this. One of the things I notice about these, and I've had it happen on more than just this one, the way that my finger rolls to that trigger, oftentimes it gets about right here, not on the bottom, but it's right in that middle part. And what happens is this safety for the trigger does not get depressed all the way, and it hangs up right against the frame. It happens a lot with these Smiths. I've heard other people talk about it. Some of them didn't know exactly. They just felt, man, it was real gritty. And at first I thought maybe I'm hitting the side and there's something catching, but it's just that safety trigger that just doesn't get depressed. And I noticed it just sighting that one in there. That is one of my gripes on these. I wished it was a different type trigger safety, because if you don't get low enough on that trigger, you're going to end up hitting that frame with that safety. Just one thing that I've noticed with these. We'll see if I can settle it down just a little bit. Okay, we've got the target swapped over. We've got a sticky target up there at about 15 yards. We got a camera on that. We've already punched some holes in it. We were running an Echelon comp this morning, doing a review on it. This will be the first ones though with the Smith & Wesson. We're going to try to do like a 2-second run here. Just keep it in the A zone. That trigger, hopefully not going to be too big of a problem, but we'll see. We'll maybe do about 3 runs here just to see what we can do. All right, so we had a 197. One just leaked out of the alpha zone on the body. I'm going to count it just because it was a pretty clean run. Other than that, first and last one were good. That second one leaked out. We'll see if we can do any better here with this one. Well, been kind of a sucky start so far. Just ran a 1.9. Realized neither camera was on. Oh, it's tough. Trying to make sure all the cameras are on and then focusing on the actual drill and getting a clean run. Some days better than others. We'll see if we can get one on record here. Better than a 190, which is what we just ran with all alpha. So we'll see. All right, now that's a 192. Feel like those are pretty good. Can't tell where they are. We'll walk down and look at them. Yeah, we ended up with a Bravo on that one, on that headshot. Just a little bit high. Not the end of the world, but anyway, we're going to move on to the steel, see if we can clean this up a little bit. I will say It's not as smooth as I would have hoped. That trigger definitely for me, now that's not going to be everybody, but for me, uh, it's just a little bit sticky. I'm focusing on trying to get my finger to the right spot on that trigger to get the safety engaged. And it's just taking a little bit more focus away from the drill itself. So, not extremely happy with the way that is. Maybe I can adjust to it and get it going here, but definitely something that's a little bit off for me. All right, we're about 50 yards out from that C zone IPSC steel target. See what we can do here with that M&P. Just trying to get shots on target. Yes. All right, so not too bad now. I'm gonna move over to the 6-inch targets beside it on that dueling tree. See what we can do on those. Nope. There's one. Well, we did get one. Got 2 more left. Yeah, 1 out of 6. All right, we are set up about 15 yards here in front of those steel targets. We're going to start on that C-zone IPSC target to the left. We're going to run a bill drill. Now I'm going to try to burn it down here. A good pace. See if we can get all hits. And then if we get all hits, we'll try to pick that pace up a little bit, see what we can do. But first one, I'm just going to go at a pace that I think I can get all hits here. All right, we got a 318. All hits. But it was a struggle to get back on target quickly. We'll reset it. See if we can top 3 seconds. Not really a great run, but that was about as fast as I felt like I could get quality shots. So we'll reset it, see what we can do. First time we've had this happen, the tray came out of our hollow sun. That little screw there is missing. So we're just going to take it out. We'll run iron sights the rest of the way. No big deal at this distance. And with this pistol, I don't know if it's going to matter much. Well, that was a 222. All right, so we moved over to the dueling tree. I put the tray back in and put some duct tape on it. Maybe it'll stay in. I think with this one, we need to be able to be a little more precise than we were with the larger target. So we really need that red dot on this one. All right, so we got 5 out of 6 on that one. That run was a 404. Pretty decent run there. We did miss the one. The optic definitely helps on the more precise shot, obviously. We'll set that back up, see if we can get a little bit better run. I don't know if it's me or what, but I am finally getting adjusted to this. But I'm having to stage my finger a little different than I normally would. I normally have it here. And then when I go to the trigger from here, I don't get in the spot that I need to get that safety depressed. So I'm having to start here. So I go there instead of from up here to roll off and hit there. And then it's not clearing that safety. So that's the one thing that I did have to make an adjustment to. I don't like being here. I'd rather be there. But for this one, I'm just going to have to set it there where I can go there. Anyway, much better run. We'll see what we can do on the next one. All right, we got a 425 with 2 misses. That is a 525. Okay, we are on the last 6 rounds for this on that first 100 round review. I think maybe we're a little over, but we're somewhere in that range. One more run of this on the Dueling tree, and then I'm actually going to get my Springfield Hellcat Pro out and take a couple of runs at that tree and see what that time looks like. .397. I missed one, and I had one ND, but I was already on the target, so I got a hit off of that ND. Kind of funny there. Trigger is still a little goofy for me. So 397, add half a second. That is our best time so far. All right, real quick before we get going, we've got the Hellcat Pro loaded up. We're going to reset those in just a second. But the one thing I'll say with this one as well, it's that trigger. It feels more smooth. However, the trigger has got a little bit longer wall and it's a harder pull. So you have to be really careful. And on precise shots, it's just hard to go fast. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. We're trying to beat 454. I think it is. No, 447. 397 plus half a second. We are at 447. 3 runs to do it. We'll see what we can do. All right, so we got 4 of 5. We got 4 of 6. I knew it. Great run. And then I choked. 434, 1 miss. Still, that's not a great run. It would have been, but I had that 1 miss there at the end. Rusted a little bit. Was that a 484? We'll clean it up. Take one more run at it. Nope, 382, 2 misses. So that would be a 482. Initial thoughts just out here on the range. If I were, both of them, I would have to, if I was going to keep and carry, I would have to do something to the trigger. But both of them for different reasons. So anyway, that's just my quick thoughts out here. We'll get this video all looked at. We'll get it back to the shop and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, real quick, let's look at the M&P Shield X Carry Comp. We are clear. We ended up putting about 130 rounds through this particular pistol on the range. I was glad we got the extras in. The last 40 or so really settled in for me, and it ran a lot smoother. I think it was just me settling into the pistol, but it did seem to go smoother at the end there. As far as some of the pros, I think right away, the best feature of this is the design. It looks sharp. The curb appeal is second to none. They did a really good job with the slide, cut up front, serrations. Everything looks good. It's got serrations up top, and of course that comp right there in the front. That is one of the best features of this. As far as fit, feel, finish, was all good. My personal feeling is I like for this grip down here to be a little bit wider. It is a little more narrow, but that is nothing new. The Shields have ran like that for a very long time. Some people love it, some people not so much. For my hands, it's just a little bit undersized. For me, that's one of the small drawbacks. The serrations, I would say, though, are one of the best out there, especially the rear ones. When you go to rack that slide, especially with an optic on top, these things did not slip at all. They were very aggressive, and I liked that actually quite a bit with this particular one. The magazines, it comes with a 13 and a 15 round, which is about standard there. It's a little undersized if you compare it to the Hellcat Pro, but 13 and 15 is just fine. Some of the cons, however, the padding up here, they tried to put in a little texture there, and it works fine if you're just needing something to remind you where home is for your trigger finger. However, if you're using the other side for your a support hand to actually dig in and get a little bit of help. For me, it just wasn't enough. I kept slipping off. I would like for it to be a little bit bigger, even maybe even have a ledge there. I think that would help quite a bit. That's just one of the things for me. And the obvious that I've mentioned a couple of times is that trigger getting right to the middle. It gets clicky, just like that. You've got to get to that bottom section, and I just kept getting to the middle, and I was having problems. As far as if you get it to where it's supposed to be, I think the trigger pull is just fine there. I would say it's probably about a 5.5 pound. See what we get on this one. Well, it would help if I had it on. Let's reset that. Now that shows a 5.7. And that one a 5.4. So right in line there. No big gripe about that. It's just if you get to the middle, you're going to have some problems. As far as the comp, it worked pretty well. We did notice, however, side-by-side comparison with the Hellcat Pro comp, this one did have a little bit more muzzle flip than the Hellcat. It wasn't a lot, however, it was enough to be noticeable. And I think that was part of the reason that I was having a little bit of an issue trying to control this one like I was. So in the end, I think it boils down to this. If you've been waiting on this release and you've been wanting the new Shield X Carry comp, I don't think you will be disappointed, especially if you are already a Shield fan. However, if you own a Shield X and you're just kind of curious, would it be worth it to trade up? I don't know that I can tell you that it would be. I also don't see too many Hellcat Pro fans or maybe the SIG 365 fans that would actually swap to this over this one design here. However, that's my thoughts. Maybe you feel differently. If you do, leave us a comment. Maybe you've got some history with this one already. Would love to get your feedback on that. Also, let us know what you think about the new content. We've been doing mostly gel tests for the last 6 months. We had an opportunity to test this one out. We've got another Echelon comp version that we're running, and we're doing the test on it as well. Let us know your feedback on that as well. If you like the content that we're putting out, though, I'll say it again. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure your notifications are turned on. So when we put something else out, you'll get a notification. This is going to be coming out on Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I hope you're out there getting some time with your family. I hope you're enjoying it. We live in a very blessed nation. So from FHC Tactical to you, God bless. Get out and exercise your Second Amendment right. We'll catch you next time.